Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Dogecoin. I get a lot of requests for this, so we'll just kind of keep this kind of on our radar here in the immediate future because we have this descending trend. We have a bounce off of this trend line, and a few other things that are important to recognize too with traditional retracement based on some type of fundamental catalyst, right? So if you're new to the channel, keep this in mind. I do love teaching people to trade. Been trading for over 17 years now. Goodness gracious, where's the time gone? And I can tell you, it's been a great, rewarding experience. I have some amazing members in my trading community, so it's awesome to be able to interact with fantastic traders. We have some really cool partnerships as well with Mexi Global, Bybit, BitGet. I would recommend Bybit for the moment, just based on the fact that they've got some trading competitions coming up. If you use my link down below, you'll also get a free airdrop as well into your account. Essentially, it's really straightforward. All you got to do is deposit $100. BitGet as well, also my favorite trading exchange. But the reason why I'm bringing you here is just so you know that this is where you can go to essentially become part of something bigger. So again, we've got a Discord. We've got a lot of different opportunities to be very successful with my trading university and, of course, additional features as well. So be sure to check that out in your own time. I also like to look at high block capital data. We're going to be bringing that to the website here in the near future. I cover this in all my Bitcoin videos, which is relevant to the traditional markets and the regular market. So I recommend checking that out as well, just so you can stay abreast. If you learn, if you know how Bitcoin performs every single day, you're going to be much better off knowing how coins like this will perform. I know these are kind of outliers, and typically Dogecoin behaves differently than traditional markets or regular cryptocurrency markets. It's still one of those things you need to kind of know, right? This is a fundamental catalyst that came from likely the fact that we had Twitter changed its icon. We talked about this in our trading community. We actually had a live stream on Wednesday, as a matter of fact, discussing these things here because we have a lot of fundamentals we like to cover. But from a technical standpoint, it's retracing and doing exactly what we expected, okay? Now, I mentioned in my first video for it that the likelihood of a retest of 91 cents to the 9.1 cents to the 8.5 cent range is very likely. Okay, now it didn't happen the first day, but second and third day, we keep coming down. Very standard stuff. So keep in mind this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level is a very common retracement point. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that here in the near future too. It may bounce, but here's a cool thing. We look at this descending trend. We can see we've had a few wicks up here, and this one it pushed right straight through. So hypothetically, instead of getting rejected off these levels here, right, we pushed right straight through, and now it should be a support level. Okay, it should look just like this. So we're right on track for that to hold in place. Coincidentally, that's aligning itself as well with the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so again, I would say Fibonacci for the win, for lack of better terms. Awesome stuff here for Doge, or Dogecoin rather. No Doge candles on the horizon, at least not yet. We'll pay attention to that here later. So let's summarize here. First of all, we got rejected off 70 on the RSI. That makes perfect sense. It can only fly so hard, so fast. Money flow index was up very high. It's now starting to dissipate. That's very common. We can also see our divergence on the horizon. While this is not even close to coming to fruition, it is still absolutely something to notice. We have lost that momentum to the upside. In turn, that implies the price is going to come down. Okay. Typically, that's a very good sign. You can see the same thing as well on the 4-hour. Traditionally, when to me the 4-hour is more impactful for the type of swing trading that I like to do. So for swing traders, if you take a look at this, you can see we're still diverging. There's a great chance we could come down even lower. Now it is starting to slow down and dissipate. We can see if we take a look at TD sequential, we're at a 7 right now. So we really only have about 8 more hours of potential downside before the price action should consolidate, but it does already look like it's consolidating nicely. So good stuff there in that sense. I think the 4 hours looking pretty decent because we are holding above 50 on the RSI, but you can see the money flow index is coming way down. So there's a lot of money coming out of the market, or in other words, not a lot of money coming in. Big surprise, this happens. It's a very standard, pump and dump, for lack of better terms. I wouldn't say the price is dumping, but it's definitely bleeding out, and it makes sense. I'm sorry if you're stuck in a larger position, because a lot of times you can actually get this, pennant type of pattern that will break out to the upside, but not when it's a fundamental catalyst. You need more volume for that to happen. We're not seeing any volume at all. So to me, money flowing out, volume coming down, MACD divergence, I think we are due for a little bit more further correction, but we're also starting to hit that halfway point. And right here at 50 on the RSI is a good sign. If we can hold it like we did before, we could very well hold the price action in place. Okay. So again, we saw this previously. RSI bounces off 50. We could very well see the price bounce at this level. I wouldn't be surprised if we retest just the 8.5 mark first, but anything could happen, right? We are getting close to this overextension. So I think we're in pretty good shape here. In that sense, as far as not coming down tremendously further, because you got to recognize the one thing, because I get the question a lot, how much further does it come down? Well, coincidentally, this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level should hold, right? But furthermore, it's not just coincidence. It's this resistance level here previously, the most recent high, that should work as a most recent low. Okay, so hypothetically, the price comes down here further to 0.618 at 8.5 cents. We should see a bounce from there. It may not be a massive upswing, but it should be a consolidation point at the previous resistance. Okay, so again, previous resistance turns support, very common thing, always happens in price discovery. Well, we're not in price discovery now. We kind of are in a strange sense because this year we haven't seen this kind of volume or volatility in some time. Okay, so again, cool stuff. All right. Last but not least here, take a look at the hourly. We can see we're still kind of sort of bleeding out. We're not hitting any overextended states, so that's a good sign. So there's no max exodus of positions. There's just kind of this slow little battle, essentially creating lower highs and lower lows. Bitcoin's behaving very similarly in the last couple of hours, so in a sense, it would make sense that this is actually following that, but it's not by any stretch aligned with it. Okay, let's take a quick look at the 15-minute here on our CC Gold indicator. We've seen literally no entry signs at all. Again, this is geared towards long positions. It's supposed to be able to help you understand when to get in and get out. Because if you take a look here, we can see when the price action was kind of going sideways, there was a recommendation to get in the target. It had overextended here, and then we have our sell signal. So these are all notifications that you can set on your alerts if you want. My community members that are using this right now are finding great benefit because it does allow for you to get in at a good state and get out at a good place. A lot of my members were able to hit a 32% profit on this trade. Again, really cool stuff. Be sure to check that out. That is available on the homepage there through cryptocash.tech. As a matter of fact, it will look something like this. If you were to scroll down, you'll see this section here. Okay. Keep in mind, up until July 1st, we have a discount for this promotion here. Essentially, for current community members, you do receive a discount on that indicator if you are an active member. So other than that, honestly, there's not much else to really note here. We are pretty much all bearish. I would speculate that 8.5 would be a good place to potentially get in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my alert here at about 8.6 as a rough estimate, so I can reevaluate and see what things look like. If I get confirmation on my CC Golden indicator and other factors are looking better, might be a good position to take along. But for right now, I'm not saying to sell your position. We should get back up to that level, but we need consolidation at this lower price point, the standard 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. So that's kind of where we're at there. I hope that you learned something here today and this was beneficial for you. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Take care.